There we go. Okay, so this is a webinar today is about PowerPoint Online. Okay, so we're not going to go into the full features of the PowerPoint desktop app. This is purely the online version that you can access to Office 365. Okay, so we're going to go through some of the features that you can use with this. So if you have got a subscription to Office 365 at your organisation, you should be able to use these features, and also your students can use these features as well to create presentations. So as you can see, the subtitles on here are one of the features that we're going to be looking at. Okay. Hi everyone that's just joined us. If you can just pop yourselves on mute. There we go. Thank you. Hello everybody. Okay, so yeah, I'm Heather, I'm one of the learning technologists. If I've got anybody from Loughborough Team A, I'm your learning technologist for Loughborough Team A, so you may get messages or you may get things marked by me. Okay. Okie dokie. So what we're going to be looking at today is we are going to be looking at some of the design features in PowerPoint Online and how to use the designer tool. So if you've never used the designer tool, it's very cool. We're looking at some of the accessibility features that sort of need to know how to use. There's a few features to do with collaborative working in PowerPoint Online, which are very interesting. And then we're just going to look at the presenting features at the bottom there. Okay, so we're going to look at the presenter coach, which basically gives you tips and allows you to practice your presentation and gives you some feedback. How to set up the subtitles, like you can see here, and also how to present live, which is quite a cool feature that you can use, and it'd be quite useful as well to try this out in your, if you do it in your remote sessions as well. It allows students to follow the presentation on their phones and follow the transcript. Okay. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is design features. Okay, so I'm just going to swap screens for a second here, and basically what we're just going to have a little look at is, there we go, the different types of features that you can use in the designer. So basically, this is a presentation that I have created. It is just it's not a I'm not a subject specialist, but this is just to sort of demonstrate something. And basically, when you set up your presentation, if you go to, if we set up a new presentation here, when you've got your options to go to blank presentation, or you've got different types of themes that you can add in. Okay, so this is all in the Office 365 app. Okay, so this is not the full version of PowerPoint that's on the desktop. This is just in the Office 365 app that you go to, when you go onto Office 365. Okay, so if I was to go to, a blank presentation, I just select a new tab for that. Let's just do this. There we go. I'm just going to show you a couple of things with this designer tool. So one of the very cool things with the design tool is it is very intuitive. There's a little bit of AI happening in the background, and it kind of guesses what your presentation is going to be about. Okay, so if I was to, as you can see, immediately the designer comes up at the side, and this starts to give you some ideas about how you might want your presentation to look. Okay, now the interesting thing is if you actually put in things like colours or subjects, this kind of guesses what you want your presentation to look like. So if I just put in here red, there we go, it starts bringing up different things or different colours and different ideas that it sort of guesses sort of what I might want to I want to present about. As you can see, come on, there we go. So if I put in there computer, it's given me some computer type graphics in there. I put in there art, sort of does the same thing. It basically, there you go, there's a nice one there. There we go. If I just click on that one, it gives me my, there we go. That's a nice slide, and it's actually got a background video on it as well, which is quite nice. Okay, so why would you use the designer? Basically, it just makes it does make your presentation very easy to sort of view and understand. It's very visually engaging, and it's very easy to create. So what you can actually do is, if I say select this, yeah, let's just do this one. I'm going to select this one. If I just wanted to add in my information, it will organize all my slides for me. So if I just went into, here we go, new slide, and then I've selected my different slide types. Now you can always change these, but basically, you know, you can just ask, you know, select what type of slide that you want. Add slide, and you know, if I just put in here, you know, slide 1, and then you can just add in your content, and then, you know, content, etc. Information. There we go. Okay, so I've just created a slide. Okay, and as you can see on the side here, it's automatically changing. You know, my slide, and it's given me ideas about how I want it to look. Okay, so there's lots of ways that I can adjust my slide, and this is sort of how you can, you know, really create some nice professional looking slides. Okay, if I wanted to, I can change the theme or the design at the top. So if I click on design at the top, I can change the theme of the slide in here as well. Okay, so if I went back to this one here, there we go. It's given me some different suggestions. Now, it basically, if you're doing this, it'll just change. It'll still probably keep that background image that you've selected on your first slide, but it will adjust things on your other slides. You'll just need to, yeah, overwrite. So yeah, it's just telling me the presentation contains multiple themes. I've got a few things going on here, and I said that's fine. I'm just going to overwrite that. Okay, there we go. Right, so basically, and again, I can just keep changing this using the designer. Okay, so the designer is a really good way of, you know, really making these presentations look presentable. Okay, the other thing that you have on the online version of PowerPoint is animations and transitions. So you still have the same animations that you can add in there. So if you just click on your points, you can you can have your your animations if you do like animations there. So I can add an animation to that one. I can add an and what you can also do is in the options. If you've never done this before, if you click on the options, you can actually apply animations to the to your points there, and then you can actually decide whether you want them to come in all at once, or you can do it one by one. So one of the things that you may do is you might be discussing a slide, and you might be sort of having sort of various points that are coming up one by one, but maybe you don't want to have all the information on the slide at the same time. So if you click on this one by one section, when you actually go to present your slide, that will appear literally one by one. So basically, let's just see, it's a slideshow from current slide. Okay, so hopefully this will show me. There we go. And then I'm just selecting each one. So I've selected that, and then I've selected my animation, and then I'm just clicking through my points, and so my animation is basically just coming up one at a time there. Okay, so this is sort of basically, there's different types of content that you can add to your slides. So if I go to the insert tab at the top, you've got different options, shapes, icons. These are sort of icons here. These are very, very simple images that you can add to your slide. Where you've got things like, if I go to the designer, if you can see on here, let me just change that there. Is it going to let me change it? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Let me just refresh it. Do it. Oops, there we go. Yeah, I won't try that. But basically, so I've got quite a few things open at the minute, so I don't want to slow it down too much. But yeah, these are the icons that you can add in there. Okay, so let's just go to the insert tab again at the top there. So you can add in different pictures and images. Okay, so you've got options to sort of upload directly from your computer. There's also a stock images option, so you can click on that and that will open up an online library as well. There we go. And so you can select from different images from there. So obviously you can search, and you've got different things you can add in there. You can add in icons. This is cut out people in here, and there's also some stickers that you can add in if you wanted to add in stickers, which are obviously really just really nice sort of engaging things that you can add into your PowerPoint. Okay, so there's different types of images that you can add in there, and you've still got your, you can also add in smart art as well. So say for example, if you've got if you wanted to create, let's just create a new slide. There we go. Here we go, add slide. Okay, so if I wanted to add in some points here, so points here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, what I can then do, if I just right click on there, hang on, it does, there we go. Oh yeah, it doesn't let me do that, sorry, this version. Click on Smart Art, and then you can add in your Smart Art as you so wish. Okay. Go, so it's just added that in there. Okay, and then I can always just copy and paste this point into here. There we go. Okay, there we go. And then I can just paste that in there. Paste, there we go. There we go. And then you can sort of add in Smart Art as you normally would add in Smart Art to your other presentations. Okay. And sometimes when you've got points as well, so sometimes when you add in points, the designer will kind of bring up Smart Art for you. So just do that again. So point 1, point 2. Point 3. There we go. And if I just go back to that designer option, and there we go. There you go. It's kind of like bringing in different Smart Art as a sort of suggestion there, like here. There we go. So these are all different examples of different Smart Art that it's bringing in. All right then. So there's different types. So there's the different types of content that you can add in. With the online version, you can only add an online video, so you can't add a physical file. So it just allows you to add things like sort of YouTube, etc. You can insert audio clips though as well. So it will let you insert an audio clip from your device if you wanted to add that in there. Okay, has anybody got any questions so far? Please feel free to pop them in the chat, pop your hand up or come off mute if you wanted to. Okay, right. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is the accessibility on your PowerPoint. Okay, so the one thing you just need to sort of make sure that you do throughout is to use the accessibility checker. So if you're using things like images, or if you're using anything that maybe require a description, that will crop up in the accessibility checker. So if you go to the review tab, if you click on check accessibility, it will check through your PowerPoint. Now it's telling me I've got several errors on here. I've got I don't know if you can see that, that's extremely small, but basically it's telling me that I've got missing alternative text, okay, and I've actually got a missing slide title on here. So this is telling me I haven't got a title. So headings are really important for accessibility. So it's telling me what I haven't got, okay. If I just click on this one that says picture 3, so this is a picture. Okay, it's telling me I haven't got alternative text on there. Okay, but what I can do, if you right click on your picture, I can actually click on alt text and I can add in that description. Okay, and it also gives you an option to generate a description. There we go. So it's given me a generic description there. If I just go to the next thing here, so it's telling me that I've got missing alt text. I've got a placeholder slide 2, okay, which is here. Okay, and I've also got so I've got a missing slide title here. Okay. Okay, and it also gives me a guide at the bottom about making documents accessible. All right. So if I just add in that slide title, that would actually sort all that out for me. So it's just really worth just checking through and making sure that you've got everything in there. Hi. Hello.
Sorry for the delay.
That's okay, don't worry. We're just sort of halfway through. If you wanted to just pop on mute, that would be really good. Thank you. Okay, so checking the accessibility is really important, especially things like alternative text and images, as well as things like headings and titles. Okay, so the other thing as well on this is the dictate tool. Okay, so if you click on the dictate tool, this will allow you to actually speak into your presentation. So if I just created it, insert new slide, there we go, let's just do another slide here. Let's just go back to the home tab. So this is on the home tab, and then if I wanted to click on dictate, I can dictate what I want to actually put on my slide. So this would be really useful for some students if they're creating presentations, because I know, especially in colleges and things, and schools, in fact, I know students are required to do presentations. And I know that, some students may struggle to type, etc. So if you have any students with specific needs, this dictate tool would be really quite useful for them. Obviously, they would need access to a microphone, so they'd probably need to work on a laptop or have a headset in order to do that. Okay, so that's thinking about the accessibility of our PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so collaborative working then. So you can actually, obviously, because this is online, you can share this with your colleagues, or students can share this with each other, and you can actually get students to work collaboratively on one document. So if you're doing a group if you're teaching them to do a group presentation, you can get them to share this PowerPoint with other people, and they can all work on one PowerPoint together. Okay, so it's quite straightforward. You just click the share button, and then you just add in their student email address, etc., and then they would send it to them, and then they'll be able to come in and they'll be able to edit it, and you'll be able to see when the students are editing it. So basically, you'll be able to see who's working on what together. Okay, and obviously you can share this with colleagues to work on as well. So, for example, if you wanted to share one of these presentations with somebody else that was teaching this. Okay, so the other thing is the comments. You can add comments like a Word document. You can add comments into your PowerPoint presentation as well. Again, just click on the comments, and then basically you can add a new comment. We need some more info. Hi, we're just halfway through if you just want to pop on mute. Okay, so here you go. So you've just added some comments in there, so obviously everyone can see those comments, and if you sort of open up the comments, you'd be able to see. So if I go to the view tab, there we go. There we go. It's the review tab. There we go. And click on show comments. So you'll be able to see comments for the different slides. And obviously this means that obviously you can work together, on your documents. Okay, and you can obviously click through those and the previous and the next options. Okay, so that's kind of sort of, it's a good idea for working collaboratively. Hello, I've got Kay with your hand up.
Yeah, hi, Heather. I'm just wondering, because I'm just sort of having a bit of a play. I mean, I use the online version often.
Yes.
Is anybody else having issues inserting pictures in, if anybody else is sort of playing alongside this session? Because at the moment, it'll insert Smart Art, but it won't insert the other features.
Pictures. So if I just went to this, like, so do you mean from your computer or from like all the other options?
No, I'm just playing around with the features in here. So, but it's not allowing me to insert. So I've like created slides. I'm just messing around with the layout, and where it gives you the option to click to add text, or you can click to put in pictures, smart art, etc. The only thing that appears to be working is the smart art. It's not allowing.
So
the online pictures.
Right. Okay. So it's not giving you pictures, shapes, or icons then.
No, it's giving those options, but when you actually select one to insert, it's not actually inserting it. So I don't know whether would it be a licensing issue on our end, or
I don't know, it's a difficult one. I mean, what I would maybe do is just maybe just maybe try it on a different device. I don't know if so basically when you're clicking on pictures, it's not giving you any options to.
It's giving me the options. It's letting me select them, but it's not actually inserting them. So I just wondered if there's anybody else here from the college that's trying to do the same thing, whether it's just isolated to my
that would be
or whether it's actually across the board. If somebody else that's in this session, if you're actually on your Office 365 and your PowerPoint online, whether you could just check, because obviously I could then report it if it is something that's an issue across the college.
Yeah, I'm just trying to insert something now. There we go. Yeah, it's inserted all right. Yeah.
Yeah, yours is working.
Yeah. Well,
the
thing is, this is it. I mean, you sort of, you always sort of test it. I'm like, oh, okay, has it changed? I would try it with see if somebody else can try it as well. Maybe try it on different devices. But yeah, I'd maybe report it to your IT department, because this is just a standard. I think just a standard thing. Add on to PowerPoint. I don't think there's anything. I know there's some issues when you've got things. I know I've done a couple of things where I've shown something and the permissions aren't quite the same for that organisation. So might just be worth trying it out with other people, because it's kind of one of the benefits really, because you have to search for pictures and stuff. You can just upload them. So maybe just try that out. Okay, so let's just go on to the next section here. Right, presenter coach. Okay, presenter coach. So if you go to, I'm just going to go to this presentation. So if you go to, let's go to slideshow. There we go. So if you click on your slideshow tab, you've got this thing that says rehearse with coach. Now what this means is that basically you can practice your, and students, more importantly, can practice their presentations, and it will give them feedback. Okay, so if I just click on rehearse with coach, there we go. So it's starting my presentation. Hello everybody. Oh, actually, and then just click on start rehearsing. There we go. Right, okay, so I'm going to start talking. It's recording what I'm saying. So hello everybody. Oh, it's telling me I'm using okay. By the end of this session, we're going to be understanding the following. So Maslow's, there we go. There we go. There we go. Maslow's extended hierarchy of needs and self-actualization. So it keeps telling me I'm using too many times. Okay, so this is our starter. We're going to do this flip grid discussion. What do you think of when asked about your most basic needs? So to take part in this discussion, okay, it's actually now telling me to avoid reading my slides. Okay, so it's telling me to summarize my key points. So if I keep going. So this is the 5-stage hierarchy of Maslow, etc., etc. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to watch this video, and we're going to, if you want to, you can always use the QR code or the link in the Canvas page. Okay, Right, so deficiency needs, these are the bottom 4 stages. These needs will motivate a person to fulfill them, and it will become urgent to fulfill the need the longer they are unmet. Right, it's still telling me that I'm reading the slides. Okay, so it gives you little bits of advice throughout the session. Right. Oh, and it's telling me I need to say I mean. Now that's quite useful because this is really okay, it keeps going. Okay. There we go. There's the end. There we go. Okay, so that's just, there we go. So it's now given me a little analysis. Now this is really useful because I'm sure that as teachers and as people that are presenters, you do things or you have maybe little habits that you slip into. My issue is okay. I always say, okay, now we're going to do this. Okay. I do it actually a bit excessively. And I know when I was teaching a lesson once, somebody recorded me and said, and it was really quite embarrassing at how many times I said okay. So this is really useful because it does kind of pick up that you may be sort of repeating things or maybe doing things that you shouldn't be doing. It's, you know, it actually tells you whether your pace is correct. It tells you how long you've spent on your presentation. It gives you a little bit of tips on, you know, it tells, obviously I was reading my slides a bit too many times. It tells you about your sort of average pace. It also gives you ideas about, you know, these are the fillers that it's picked up on that I've said. So this would be really useful for students, you know, practicing presentations, because it really does give them a really good idea about how to, you know, how to present effectively, and also, you know, it gives them some feedback as well. Okay, so they can rehearse their presentations using this presenter coach. Okie dokie. Okay, so one of the things you may have noticed at the beginning is that you can add subtitles to your presentation. The way that you can add subtitles to your presentation is obviously when you're presenting, you know, however you're presenting, you will need to have some kind of microphone. So if you're on a computer, that would need to have a microphone, or especially if you're working remotely like this, if you've got a headset, it's ideal. But if you've obviously got a laptop, it might just be that you, you know, use the microphone on the laptop. But if you click on where it says always use subtitles, you've got a little drop down menu here. Now you can select where you want your subtitles to go. You can also change the audio settings. So here it's basically it's finding my webcam. I'm not going to actually select my headset because it's currently being used by Teams and also another presentation that I started at the beginning. So that's fine. We'll just leave that as it is. And it also says to me, what's my spoken language? Okay, so the spoken language is currently English UK because I'm speaking English. And you can actually change the subtitle language. So if you've got a lesson where you're teaching students that have got English as a second language, and you know, so for example, if you've got students that are, you know, if you've got students that like a majority of a certain language, you can actually present this presentation in your class. You can put these subtitles up, and then it will pick up, you know, it will pick up these, it pick them up in that language. So if I say selected, let's go for Italian. If I go then to present my presentation from the current slide. Okay, it's now starting the subtitles. So by the end of this session, you'll be able to understand the following: Maslow's 5-stage hierarchy. And as you can see, it's translating what I'm saying as I'm saying it into the language that I have suggested. Okay, so you can see how you can actually create a really accessible PowerPoint. And the same can be said for if you just wanted to obviously do English, because, you know, you may have students that, you know, are hard of hearing or you know, deaf students, or sometimes, you know, especially if you're presenting and you're online, you can obviously put the English subtitles on there, and that obviously would be really, you know, accessible for those that are maybe struggling to hear. Okay, so that's how you can use the subtitles. Has anybody got any further questions?
Hi, Heather.
Hello.
You've just shown how you are starting and making and creating the PowerPoint on this system. Can you actually put PowerPoints in that you've created on, you know, on the system that we've already got?
So is it would you mean PowerPoints that you've previously created?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you could you can upload a PowerPoint to your OneDrive, and I suppose then you can edit it, if that makes sense. Do you mean from your computer, or do you use OneDrive?
No, from the computer. I've got quite a few PowerPoints on here, but it'd be nice to add some of these extra features. Can I transfer them over into this system? And
yeah, I mean, what I would do is let's just try it. A lot of my stuff's on OneDrive, so I'll just go on to So if you went onto your OneDrive and then basically uploaded your PowerPoints into your OneDrive, then you can open them up from there. So if you just went into OneDrive, click on upload. Let's go into files. I've got a PowerPoint already. Let's go into documents. Documents. I've got one on here. There we go. Academic staff induction. That's all right. Let's move it. Let's say okay. That'll open that up in my OneDrive. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? It's somewhere down here. Oh, where is it gone? Is it not there? Ah, it's there, look. There we go. So that's what I've just uploaded. So if I now click on that, that will just open up in PowerPoint Online. There we go. So this is a PowerPoint that I just had on my computer. There we go. Okay, so if I just click on that one there, so if I go into the design mode, I can click on the designer, and it'll still give me access to change the slide. There we go, like so, if I need to. And I can still also do the, if I go back to slideshow, I can still use the subtitles as I did. I can also do the rehearse with coach. So yeah, you can just upload something that you've already got, and you can just change it. That's answered your question.
yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's all right. I've just there we go. Yeah, okay. So I'll just go back to how many have I got? I've got loads of things open now. Okay, so the other thing that you can use is the sorry, let's go back to this one. There we go. So the other thing you can use is the live presenter. Okay, and this basically means that the students can like log on to the PowerPoint, or you can log on to a PowerPoint, and you can follow it along, and you can change you can actually change the language, or that's been said. So I'm just going to try this with this, so to show you what I mean. So if I click on slideshow, come on, there we go, and click on present live. If you've got your phones, do you want to just have a go at this? So if you want to, I'll just actually copy the link and pop it in the chat if you want to have access, if you do have access to the chat. There we go. And basically, if you've got a QR code reader on your phone, you can scan that QR code, or you can put the link into your phone. And what will happen is this will take you to this presentation. Okay, so I'm just going to do that now. If you just want to either scan the code or pop this link in that's on the screen. And it will tell us whether people have joined, because it says nobody's joined at the moment. It's one of those things that it's best to...
Hi Heather, it's me
Hello.
again. So I've tried. It's saying you do not have access to this live presentation.
Thank you very much. That's my fault entirely. It's all right. I have done a rookie mistake there. There we go. Sorry, I went a bit too fast there. I've done a rookie mistake. Let me just close this. Right, okay. So where it says present, I'll just end that session again. Okay, yeah. So where it says present live, what I needed to should have done is use the drop down menu and then click on anyone, and then that will go to you yourself. So I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to click on the drop down. I'm going to share it with anyone, and we will start again. Anyone with a link can join this session. So it's just generating a link for me. Okay, just try that one now.
Yeah, that's working.
Yay. Yay, one person's joined. Yes. Oh, 2 people have joined. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to join on my. I'm going to join Teams on my phone, and then I can show you. Is anybody else joining us? Okay, right, okay, right. So what we're going to do is I'll just share my screen on Teams so I can show you on my phone so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So I'll just share my screen. Okay, so hopefully we should be able to see. Can you just confirm that you see my phone screen? Yeah, there we go. It's on. Okay, right. Okay, so I'm on my phone at the moment, and if I scan, or I can put the link in, but I'm basically just going to use the scanning option. So I've got a QR code reader on my phone, so I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go to browse website, and it's telling me to put the code in. So now I'm just going to add the code. There we go. 7XA 239U. There we go. It's connecting to the presentation. I've got a little video just in case this doesn't quite work.
Heather, mine's saying something went wrong. Can't connect live presentation at the moment.
Oh, yes, so does mine. That's very strange. Okay, right, I'll just, I have got a contingency. It should, let me just, why does that not work? Try again. Yes, it does seem to be, this is the problem when you try and demo things live. Has anyone else managed to get in?
No, mine's giving the same error message.
Yeah, I couldn't get on either. I'd like to know how you share your phone screen though.
Oh, right, okay. Basically, if you join Teams, I'll show you. If you go, hang on, let's go back to Teams. There you go. There you go. Yeah, so do you see where it's, I've got basic, you see, if I go onto Teams on my phone and I do the little dots on the bar, it's actually, there's an option, see where it says share, and I can share my phone screen, which is obviously quite useful for things like this. Right, okay, I'll stop sharing. I will show you, that's really disappointing that there's some not quite working, but what I'll do is I will, come on. I'll just show you the video that I just created earlier, literally just before I did this webinar. Stop presenting. There we go. we go. Right, so I'll just okay. Okay, so I'll just move across. Okay, so this is what I did earlier. I'll just turn these subtitles off. So there we go. Yeah, so this is what I did earlier. So this is the ideal. This is what it should say. There we go. Okay, so I scanned. So obviously scanned the code or went to the link, like so. Went to the website. Okay, and this is what comes up basically. So the actual presentation comes up on the student's phone, and then if you are talking, it will then sort of pick up what you're saying. Keep going. There we go. So this is me basically talking, and it's obviously giving me a transcript of what I'm saying. If a student's actually following this, and again they need sort of to have it in a different language, they can actually change the language of the subtitles. So if you're presenting, not only do they see the presentation, they can actually have that presentation translated to them in real time, as you can see. What they can also do is, if you're, especially if you're presenting in a class, they can do things like reactions and things as well. So there's a little emoji button at the bottom there, as you can see. And that you can add little hearts emojis and all sorts of stuff, and that they will actually come up as you're presenting if you're doing this online. Okay, so that's sort of the presenters. So basically you can follow it on your phone, and you can also they can also rate the presentation at the end. So for example, if you're doing like a corporate presentation like we're doing now, they can actually rate it, which would have been good. Right, okay. Oh, that's gone off there. There we go. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of the webinar. So because they're the kind of all the features that we have in the version online. I'm just going to have a little play with this to see if we can get this see if I've just done something. We need to get this working on the live session. But if anybody does have any questions, just let me know.
Heather, can you just remind us where the dictate was? Because I can't find that on my.
Oh, yes.
Please, thank you.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, go back. There we go. Let's just go and share this one. So share this screen. On this one here. That one. Yeah, so if you go to the home tab, it should be there at the end where it says dictate. Do you have that?
No, I don't seem to have that. I'm not sure why.
Oh, that's a bit odd. Can you are you able to share your screen with us so we can have a look? Because I'm just as I say, I thought all these features were universal throughout the well, throughout really. Are you? I was gonna say, are you able to share your screen?
Oh, sorry, no. I lost connection then. I found it now. I've just
okay.
searched it. Where you can ask, you can put in the search field, can't you? What do I want to do?
Yes.
And I put in dictate, and it came up
All
there.
right. Are you in the full version of? Are you in the full version? Or are you in the online version of PowerPoint?
The online version.
Okay, that's all right. I say that because I know that. I know sometimes it's a bit confusing which version we're in. Okay, yeah. Well, okay. It's probably, I don't know. It might look slightly different than on yours, but I mean, I assumed that they were all sort of the same. Has anybody got any questions? If you haven't done your MIE, if you want to, let me just switch screens. Let me just share this screen. If you haven't done your MIE, if you want to go to, or even if you have done your MIE, you can get some points. If you go to education.microsoft.com, you can actually use this code to redeem some points. So if you go to, let me just go on to this to show you how it works. So if you've not done your MIE, you can claim some points for the webinar. Yeah, so if you've not done your Microsoft Innovative Educator badge, if you go to education.microsoft.com and if you sign in or sign up if you haven't already done so, when you go to your little profile badge in the corner, you can see there'll be a thing that says redeem achievement code. And if you put this code in that I've got on here, basically this will give you some free points. And if you've not done your MIE badge, this will give you some free points towards doing that, because you need 1,000 points to get your MIE badge, so this will go towards that. Okay, so if you pop to education.microsoft.com, redeem achievement code, and then pop the code in, and that will give you some points. Okay, so that was the end of the webinar. I'm just going to stop the recording now, but if anybody does have any questions, please just let me know.